DC, I want to love you. I really, really do, but you're not making it easy on me. So Suicide Squad is out, and this was the movie that was supposed to bring hope back into the DCEU. This is not that movie, but I do think that this is, in fact, a step up from Batman v Superman. The squad themselves are a lot more entertaining to watch than the characters were in Batman v Superman. Mainly Harley Quinn and Deadshot, who I would say are the two main characters of the movie. Main characters in quotation marks, because, they're all in the movie, but those are the two marquee characters. For the most part, Harley Quinn is great in the movie. I don't think all of her lines hit as well as I would have wanted them to, but Margot Robbie does do a really good job with with the quality stuff she's given. And I mean, it's not even all bad. A lot of it is great, but you know, it didn't. The character didn't hit it or nail it as much as I would have wanted her to. Will Smith is Will Smith in this movie, but that's not necessarily a negative thing because the character of Deadshot is still there. He still has a daughter that he's trying to take care of. So all those core elements of the Deadshot character are still in the movie, but Will Smith just adds his Will Smith flair, I guess you could call it, to the movie. I also really like Diablo's character because he takes this sort of moral high ground that I wouldn't have thought would work in a movie like this, but it actually does. And it's just he's different from all the other characters. It adds a different recipe to this Suicide Squad soup that's kind of a mess. But at the end of the day, it works. It works, I guess. But yeah, and he's kind of like the Hulk in a way. I don't want to say why or how, in case you haven't seen the movie, but when you watch it, you'll probably understand where I'm coming from. When it comes to the rest of the squad characters, they're pretty hit or miss. I mean, Captain Boomerang, he is pretty entertaining to watch, so I don't mind him being there because he does bring in some good laughs. But the rest of them, I almost question why they're in the movie. Slipknot isn't necessarily bad in the movie, but it's not necessarily good either. Watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm really disappointed in the way that they handled Killer Croc. There's a potential here for a really cool and sympathetic character, but nah, he gets absolutely zero character development or anything, any kind of character at all. He's literally just there to be comic relief. Like the camera just swings to him and he says something that's funny. And it's not even always all that funny. I mean, he is kind of funny sometimes, but I don't know. I just thought there was a lot more potential there. You already have Captain Boomerang, who in reality should be a nothing character, but Killer Croc, he's had some really cool stuff in the comics and in the animated series. I don't know. I just thought they could have done something more with him. Katana is literally nothing in this movie. She adds nothing. She does nothing. There is no reason for her to be in this movie. Like, literally, she doesn't do anything. She's just there. She's just there. She didn't have to be in this movie, and she's kind of a cool character. Save her for something else, or at least give her something if you're gonna put her in this movie. I don't understand why she was in here. A lot of people didn't like Enchantress in the movie, and I'm not gonna say why because there is some more elements to her character that could be considered spoilers, so I'll say it later in the video. But in my opinion, I thought she was a fine character. And I know you're all gonna want to know, how was Jared Leto's Joker? Is it better than Heath Ledger? And look, I'll say this: I liked Jared Leto's Joker. I don't want to say that I love it just right now. I do think he's doing something really cool with it, but the problem is that they don't give us a lot of the Joker in this movie. In fact, it feels like there's a lot cut out. Like, you see this picture right here? That was in the trailers, not in the movie. I don't know why they cut a bunch of Joker out, but that's what it seems like. So he's not really in the movie all that much. Similar to Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War, so that we don't really know how well he's going to stack up against the other Spider-Man. And we don't really know how well this Joker is going to stand up to the other Jokers that we've had previously, just because they don't give us a lot of him. But I will say that I did like him, and I'm excited to see him in a Batman standalone movie. And Batman is not in this movie a whole lot, so if you want a lot of Batman, you're not going to get it in this movie. But he's in it just enough, and I think he serves a pretty good role. And Joel Kinnaman as, that's how you pronounce his name, right? Joel Kinnaman, I don't know, whatever. He was Rick Flag in Suicide Squad, and he's He's just your average, tall, handsome white guy. I don't know what to say about him. There's really nothing interesting about him. I mean, he's fine. He does a fine job, like, acting-wise, but as a character, nah, nothing really special. I actually thought Amanda Waller was really well handled in this movie. There are a couple things that she does that, I mean, the fact that she does it, it's fine, but how the characters react to something that she does that I think was just kind of weird. But Viola Davis herself, as Amanda Waller, I thought was fantastic. But look, this movie isn't great, and sometimes it's just a mess. Like, the third act, I think, just really brings down the movie. And, you know, like, all the characters, like, some of them, it's like, why are you in here? Like, the threat that they're going up against, some of these characters shouldn't be going up against. The threat should be saved for, like, a Justice League movie or something. But, look, this movie is still entertaining, so that's why I'm still going to give it my best movie of all time rating. Alright, so if you haven't seen the movie, I would suggest clicking away. But if you have seen the movie, then stick around a little bit. You know, your life will definitely be improved after watching this video. But anyways, first of all, okay, the relationship between Joker and Harley. I really liked it. So it's not what you're kind of used to, because you're kind of used to, you know, Joker, you know, mistreating Harley. It's basically an abusive relationship. Here, that's not really the case. You actually see that the Joker cares for Harley, and it's the movie universe, so I think it's okay to have a different kind of, you know, relationship. I really like this scene in particular where you see Joker actually going through some mental decision making, and, you know, he kind of realizes that he actually does care for Harley, and he jumps down with her into the vat. Like, I just think stuff like that it's really cool, and I think it's a different kind of relationship, but I'm okay with it. And I really enjoyed Deadshot's relationship with his daughter. I kind of like how, you know, he is a bad guy, and he's not opposed to doing bad things, and you even see at the end that he really wants to go after Batman, but his first drive for doing what he does is his daughter, and I actually thought it was pretty endearing. And also, she's not played by Willow Smith. Nothing against you, Willow. You whip your hair back and forth all you want. It's fine. Just stay away from movies, please. And, you know, Batman in this movie, I think, I kind of wish I would see more of him, but that's just the fanboy in me. I guess it is better that they didn't overuse him, but I don't know. I would have liked to see more of him. You know, the scene where he takes down Deadshot is cool, and I really like the scene where he's on Joker and Harley's car. And, you know, it also, actually, in that scene when they get down into the river, it kind of like, what's the Joker's deal with Harley then, too? Because he just leaves her there to die. Like, they kind of showed us that he's starting to care for her, but I guess if he has to, he will leave her. So, yeah, see, like, this kind of thing, like I said before, that the Joker cared for her, but at some points, I'm like, I'm not really too sure. But I did love the scene where Batman just knocks out Harley in one punch after Joker leaves her, you know. I just thought that was really cool. And then, you know, how Harley pretends to be dead so that Batman will try to give her CPR or something. I don't know. All that stuff and all those interactions were cool. I just kind of wish there was more stuff like that in the whole movie. You know, okay, so this Joker, he's definitely a different Joker than anything we've ever had. He's really more of a mobster than he is a lunatic. I mean, he's definitely a lunatic. But, you know, he's more of a mobster, not like Heath Ledger's Joker, where he was just, you know, insanity in its purest form. This guy, he's more of a mobster. I guess, you know, he's more of a business type of guy when you're talking about criminal activity. So, and, you know, it's a cool, interesting take, and I definitely like it. My main issue with the Joker in this movie is that they've clearly cut out a lot of footage, and it's just like, don't just shoot a bunch of random stuff and then put it together. That's not how you make a movie. But, I mean, hey, look, we'll probably get some more good Joker stuff from a Batman solo movie, and if we're being honest, it's probably best if we save it for that. So, I can't really complain. And, you know, like, one of the main problems with this movie is that the threat that they get the Suicide Squad to face, it's just not really a threat made for them. Like, this movie, I think, would have worked a lot better if they would have gone to, you know, fight some radical terrorist or something. But it's just, Enchantress, it's just, I guess she's too powerful for them. Because it's like, there's a scene where, because Boomerang, he basically does nothing really useful, and neither does Harley or Katana. Like, they're just not really built for threats like this. Like, there's a scene where Captain Boomerang throws a surveillance boomerang so that they can get something, but one of the tentacles just, like, takes it out, and then that's, like, it. Like, he can't really do anything else. So it's just, like, I kind of wish they would have toned down the threat a little bit. Like, Harley is just a lunatic with a bat. What is she supposed to do here? But I can actually pinpoint the exact moment that I started really disliking this movie. And to be fair, it's only the first 30 minutes, so that's why I still think this is a fun movie that you should see. But from the moment that Enchantress goes full goddess and starts doing that weird dance, just nothing worked for me. Like, the way that they just killed off El Diablo, he was one of the best characters that you had in this movie. I was actually, like, really digging that whole backstory of him killing his wife and child. And then you just kill him off, you just make it this weird CGI fight with the Enchantress's brother, who was just stupid. I'm sorry, he was just stupid. So you have this weird CGI fight, and then he dies. It's just, why? I thought it was just a complete waste. And I mean, like, when at the end there, when Harley Quinn is telling Enchantress, maybe I'll go with you, or maybe I'll do it, I was actually starting to buy it, because I mean, if you think about it, the Joker, he was the love of her life. He was the only thing that she cared about, and she thinks he's dead. So like, why wouldn't she go with her? There's nothing else for her to live for. But then what do? They literally show you the sword that she's about to stab Enchantress with. Like, what? That made all the tension go away. That would have actually been a pretty decent twist, but then they show you the fucking sword. It's just, some of the stuff in this movie, it boggles my mind that they made these decisions. One thing that I do have to give the movie props for is that a lot of people, they go around saying, this is just a movie with another faceless army. Like, what's the point? This actually wasn't a faceless army. The Enchantress would get civilians and turn them into these creatures. So, the movie actually does a good job of not making these creatures meaningless. These are actual people that the squad are murdering. So, I mean, it fits their bad guys. So, it fits with their character. So, I actually have to give the movie props for this. And there were like parts in this movie where there could have been some dramatic elements, but the movie just kind of glosses over it. Like the scene where Viola Davis kills all the FBI agents because they heard too much. It's like, for example, Rick Flag, he's like a good dude, so he could have called her out on it, but not really. And then Will Smith was in the room, and just before that, Rick Flag had told Will Smith, "Oh, you're just a mercenary and you kill people for money." And so it's just like when Viola Davis murders a bunch of FBI agents, Will Smith could have called them out on it, being like, who's the real bad guy here? I don't know. Something like that. But there are no dramatic elements in this movie. So it's just like, the movie's just it doesn't have a lot of substance, But look, at the end of the day, this movie definitely has flaws, but I don't think it's terrible, and I definitely had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I guess I like it. But I just kind of wish there was some more substance in there and they would have thought it through more. I kind of feel like this is kind of a situation where, kind of like the, Avengers Age of Ultron, where the studio was meddling in a lot and they didn't give Joss Whedon all the creative freedom that he would have wanted. I think this is the same situation here. David Ayer is clearly a talented director, and there are a lot of scenes in here where you can feel that that's David Ayer. But then there are a lot of scenes where it feels like the studio was like, Ayer, put some more fun in there. We need more fun. People didn't like Batman v Superman because it was too dark. So we need more fun in this movie. Introduce the characters with stupid songs and have there be literal texts telling you about the characters. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this movie? Tell me in the comments below. But keep in mind, there might be some people that haven't seen it, so try to stray away from spoilers. But yeah, and if you disagree with things that I said, be sure to leave angry comments, because I love those. Those are great. I love those. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, I guess. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. All my videos are just as bad as this, so what's there to lose? I gotta say, I still think she's pretty hot.